Welcome in, everybody. I see we've got Charlie with the first. Oh, we've got my own audio playing back at me. Um, Thank you, Charlie, for redeeming first. Thank you, Rena, for the hydrate. Sarabot's joke today. My dog used to chase people on a bike a lot. Got so bad I had to take his bike away. Yes. Fantastic. So, let's get into it. We leave off. Oh, I have made a decision, which is that I need to start ending stream and exiting the game here inside the hub, where we can see how long it's been since the last time I died in Satisfactory. And it has not been 12 in-game days since I started. It has been longer than that. So, we were working on our Tier 2 iron. What I was starting to do was kind of get everything set up for all three. But I think that's going to make this feel a little chaotic and make it hard to keep track of what's getting produced. So I'm going to focus on one at a time. We're going to start over here to the far right. Far right. Maybe I should do middle for reinforced... No, we'll do the far right for reinforced iron plates. And I need to do stairs. And that is also going to make it a little easier to manage materials as far as having enough concrete to finish a factory. Kind of have a double layer going on here, so we're just gonna roll with it. Double stairs. Because why not? We are going to have a layer above this. But that is going to come down 3 and not just the 2, so... That one will go around the front. It's going to be the same layout as this right here. Okay, so, end result, what we need... How much concrete do I have on me? Not enough. Let's see what we've got produced. It would have saved me some time if I had left the server up AFK just for a little while just to build up concrete, but I'm kind of trying to avoid doing that. I want to manage my rates as we go along. Oh, I forgot I did stairs already. We're probably gonna move this. I don't expect too much crossing around the middle here. And we might actually do a set of these stairs between each production line. But what I need right now... this one just for the sake of getting the stairs down. What I need right now is to get a look at the materials that we actually need for this. We're gonna need iron plates, regular iron plates. As well as screws. So our 3 production lines are going to be plates, screws, and rods. And we just need to get the ratios to see how much of each. Railing. I need. Alright, so reinforced iron plates. We do know how many of these I need set up, so we'll do the blueprints for the next part as well. Nope, wrong floor. We are missing cable and reinforced iron plates. And regular plates. Drop those in there too. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice, actually. Let's do some shopping real quick. Alright. I don't think I'm too worried about any of the specials right away. Management, we've got everything we can get at the moment. We definitely want the larger display signs. That's something that's, kind of hurting for right now. It's bothering me that those signs are smaller than I like. Let's see, for foundations, let's check walls first. Yes, I want these. That brings us up to 11. We've got 5 more to spend. We've got 1 more to spend. And I think we will spend that one on the road barriers. Just to see what we're... Actually, let me see if this works. It does not. Okay. Oh. especially because we don't have the materials for that. Alright, we'll upgrade those later. For now, let's worry about our stuff. I have so many copper sheets. What we can do is we now have this unlocked. We can finish up our walls over here. That needs to go on this side as well. Nope, no it doesn't. Okay, we need sheets. And we need rods. I do believe we forgot to check on our hard drive last time. We checked on it, but we didn't scan another one. Alright, this should give us what we needed. Blueprints. Got an array here, and we've got an array here. We need this because we were trying to get the count of total iron input, I believe. So 60 screws per minute and 30 iron plates per minute. I think for the sake of organization, this floor is going to be the plates. So, iron here is going to be a 3-to-2 ratio. For the screws, rods should be a 1-to-1 ratio. There they are. 15 to 15. The screws, if I'm not mistaken, are double. Quadruple, okay. So, right now, this is 45 iron and 15 screws per constructor. Or 45 iron plus 15 iron per constructor. So that's 60 per constructor. We want 240. So that is just going to be 4 of these. think we'll do them centered that way. Maybe facing the other way. Did I say constructors when I meant assemblers? Try this way. Nope, we're gonna keep it going the other way, but just do it from one further back. And we'll just make this longer. We need more reinforced iron plates. Symmetrical. And floor holes are going to clip into the base frame of these more than normally I would like, but it keeps the conveyor lifts looking like they're part of the machine rather than a component that's sticking out. Alright, so we know we have enough iron coming in. So we are going to have 4 of these running, so we want to set this up for 4 times 60 per minute screws and 4 times 30 per minute iron plates. That's going to be 240 screws and 120 iron plates per minute. We have 8 of these. 240, 120, 60, 30. We want these producing 30 per minute as our baseline. Just going to use 7.5 iron rods per minute. We have a 1-to-1 machine count ratio here, so we just bring these down to producing 7.5, which is 50% underclocked. Which means we could get away with only 4 machines here. I'm going to hold on to the 8 machine array. Now for the iron plates, we need 120 per minute. We're currently producing 20 per minute. We want to bring that down to 15, 15, 30, 60, 120. And that's a lot of 120 per minute throughput. Which means we're going to need a lot more reinforced iron plates. see. Do we have iron stored in one of these already? Sulfur. We do. Take the coal out, make that all iron. And just put the coal up here. And I want walls. Half foundations here. Oop. And we're gonna have just a stack of those. Man research complete. Bring those out. What did we get? We got fine concrete made with silica. That's probably not something we're going to work with. At least not anytime soon. And bolted iron plates. Also not too worried about. We're just going to stick with the base recipe for that. Wet concrete. That'll be very handy when we unlock the refineries. Need more than that. So the current maximum throughput is 240 per minute. Our belts can only handle 120 per minute. So everything that we just set up, we are going to bring down to 50% the current rate, just for the sake of what we have available to us. And I need more plates. I went with the world grid for the copper and tier 2 iron factories, but I don't think I did that for the tier 1 iron. Hey, we made it. Do you think this will work? Apparently, yes. Do not have enough reinforced iron plates again. If only we had a factory to fix that. Ah, screws. That's pretty cool. I think so, at least. I'm gonna move that right here. Right there. From that one. There we go. And we'll cut this out. Oh, no, don't start that up yet. No, we'll leave it on. Just ready to hook up when we get to that point. Okay. Still don't have enough reinforced iron screws. Or reinforced iron plates. How are we doing here? Full stack there. Plenty of stacks there. Screws are almost full. That's nice to see. Before we get too crazy with the conveyor belts, let's get the load balancer arrays set up. gonna be a little weird. We're gonna have the input come down the middle here. Go out, then come down the middle here. But the output will come out here. Appear to have done this backwards. Unload. Oh, yep, okay. So, unload should come second. There we go. We know what we're doing, I think. That is the wrong one. There we go. And we'll need the loader over here. Doesn't hurt to get these in place too. this unloader also go this way. I see. How do we want to do this one? I think we'll do it this way. And change the loader that we've got down here. Or the unloader. Should be the right spot. There you go. So that's going to end up going up that way. Let's set the logistics of this right away. That's the 4 holes. That's the wrong one. The iron ingots are going to come up this way, or around that way, around. Yeah. There. And we'll do this here. So we're gonna have to find a spot to bring this up as well. We'll do 2 side by side over here. And one will just go all the way up to the top. Be the plates. of these goes all the way up. One only goes up halfway. And we did not align that right. There we go. Okay. Let me check the rates up here. We have 240 coming in for screws and 120 coming in for iron plates. This is all Mark II. That is good. So this one right here is screws. That is still Mark II coming out of this side. But the iron plates will be Mark I at this point. This might not work. Yep, we gotta space these better. You've got the room. Not an issue, but we gotta space these better. Okay, there's our midpoint. This is where we had it. And I think that's where we want it. Center. Let's make sure that's symmetrical. Yep. And that should do it. So yeah, there's our input. Output will come all the way down. And I think we're gonna bring it out right here. This is the center. Yeah, that's the center point. Okay. No, too far. That should not be more than 60 per minute. I think it's 20. It is 20. Mark 1 will do just fine. Now we're going to run into a problem down here, which is that if I keep going with this hole, it's gonna hit where these are passing through. So I think we're gonna move this to the other side at this floor level. That's a little awkward. That is not going to be the right spot for that. I think instead we'll send it over here, coming down behind the stairwell. That's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. Should also clean this up first. I think we'll just send it down that way from the start. And this should be repeatable for each of the next two factories as well. So that's going to change the orientation of this array. What's the center point? Right here. I'll put it there. Which I think is exactly where we just said no. So, yes, I guess. Better. You know, I did that up there so I could put the lift on it right away. And what I did not do is put the lift on it right away. Alright, and then we'll send it out that way. We'll have our storage array out here. Okay, so now we're just going to start working backwards to get all the rest of the logistics hooked up. Everything up here is done. This is plates at a rate of 120 per minute. We need some more reinforced iron plates. That'll help. Screws at a rate of 240, but we don't have that rear belt unlocked yet. Plates at 120. Ingots at 120. Make sure we know which one we're doing. The screws are on this side, so we're doing rods to the right. Need reinforced iron plates to make reinforced iron plates. Need so many reinforced iron plates. Did we really? We did. This is screws. This is the one that needs to be... No. What I should be doing is changing this send it that way instead. Alright, these aren't gonna just hook up, so we have to redo them. Let's go up here and switch those arrays around. Screws are on the side. Rods are on this side. Blueprints. This is gonna be this one. And this one's gonna be the other one. Is getting stuttery from building. I think we're gonna restart. Save, log out, and just log back in right away to reset that in a moment. These ones as well. So, just a quick save. Exit to menu. Why did that not look like it saved? Create a new one. Don't want to do that. Alright. Exit to menu, continue. It's a 1-to-1 ratio on the rods. That will clip into that, so we're going to do it here. And we need more plates. Dimensional depots really are going to be a big deal when you get those fully unlocked. Plenty of screws still. Plenty of rods. Stacks of those. way more rods than we need. Bench. Make some more reinforced iron plates. And that's just going to send the screws up. And that way. We need to know the ratio of ingots. Iron rods, we're making 7.5 per minute, 15, 30, 60. So we have 60 going that way. And then down here we're using 22.5. That's 45, 90, 180. 180, 60, that's the 240. So we need to split this up. And 180, 240, that's a 1-to-4 ratio. There is a bit of an array that you can do to split, to take a quarter out of an output line. But I have something else in mind. I had something else in mind, but that depends on us having full throughput. So I think we're gonna do the standard array here. No, put the splitter here. So what we've got happening here, we've got our full output going to this, and the splitter is going to send 1 and 1 every time. Hey Carrot, welcome in. Good to see ya. Happy birthday. Oops, that did not attach correctly. It is trying so hard to attach incorrectly. And that's because we did not set the splitter correctly. No, we have... This is going the wrong way. Is it? No. Output's here. Input's here. What happened? I know, what a coincidence, Carrot. Out of 365 days in a year, it's hard to believe we share the same 365 days. Alright, so at max throughput, this is 240. We don't have the belt for that, but, so we hit the first splitter, and regardless of what the belts coming out are, it sends one this way, sends one this way, over and over again, as long as there's no backup on either output. So that means both of these are potentially going to receive 120. Now this direction we need 180, and this direction we need 60. So this is going to be where... Okay, I know what we're doing there. So 60 comes out this way, and we'll have another 60 coming out this way, and we'll just feed it right back into the loop. Now there's another trick that I could do, because the maximum throughput coming out is the same as the tier 1 conveyor belt. What I just mentioned, as long as there's no backup, it'll keep sending one each way. If we were starting out with our max throughput, instead of having a perfect ratio split, we could try to send 60 this way, have a bottleneck on that tier 1 belt, so that anything over 60, the other 60 it tries to send that way, can only go this way, and we'll end up with our perfect 180 to 160 split. But because this factory is not going to run at 100% capacity right away, we have to do this balancing array here, because this belt will only be 30 to start out with, which we don't have a belt that bottlenecks down to 30. Hopefully you all are able to follow that. Yep, so our ingots are coming through here. That's going to be iron and screws. And the rest of that comes out here to our plates. And our plates are producing at a max rate of... Oh, we're out of reinforced iron plates again. So we send this up, we hook up our iron ores, and this factory will be done. I'm about to run out of plates, which I'm going to end up needing. Yeah, so that's going the wrong way. I'll do it by the blueprint, that way if I... need to dismantle by the blueprint at a later time. Okay. So the way I rearrange this on the edit screen is not sticking. I believe it is auto-sorting within the correct categories, at least, by date modified. So every time I log out and log back in like we did earlier to fix the frame rate, I'm gonna lose any sorting I do on that, so I'll kind of just have to put up with it as it is. Otherwise, muscle memory is gonna get used to the wrong way. Be the same way that is. There we go. And now we just need more iron plates. There's a reason we're starting with the iron plate, or reinforced iron plate factory. That's probably all we really needed to do there. Having a bit of an issue where the foundations are not perfectly oriented to each other. These aren't facing the same direction, but they're four-way symmetrical, so we can't see that they're not facing the same direction. So depending on whether it decides the left or right side when we're between them is the one it's basing its orientation off of, it keeps rotating our conveyor belt. So at that point, it's probably worth it to just place the bracket and then connect the conveyor belt to the bracket. And you are the furthest outside. Rocks. So we'll have 3 items produced, and then we'll have our awesome sink. We're gonna do 6 wide for that. Do I want to do it that way? I don't think I want to do it that way. We'll do it this way. Coming up on the side means we're gonna run into... No, that's fine, because we've got that one extra space. So we'll do organization. Yeah, we'll do it this way. 2, 3. Lost in sync. Needs more reinforced iron plates. Which direction are we facing? So I don't believe any of these facilities will be producing more than 20 per minute, and we're going to have 3 of them. So we should only be working with tier 1 input on the awesome sink. Didn't do the other side. I'm out of concrete. One was a little unexpected. It's this way. I don't think I've given myself the best way to... Looking for AI limiters. Pretty sure I had some somewhere. Yep, there they are. So we'll send all 3 conveyors this way, and I think I'll have them... Can't have them go this way, because when we get the dimensional depots down, the 3 stack will end up clipping through them, so I have to have them come around this way and then go out. So I think I'm going to turn these storage containers around just to make my life a little easier. Side. can do the smart splitters. Here. We need 6 more reinforced iron plates. Let's do from this side, just for fun. So that means front is going to be overflow, and the left side is going to be any. Just make sure that's copying correctly. Yep. Yeah, okay, so the furthest one is going to take the top. And then we'll have our mergers that are going to send everything this way. Have to double check our belts. We'll have to double check our throughput for the awesome sink when we get the other 2 factories set up to make sure everything. We're starting with 20. It should be on average 20 for each one, so it shouldn't exceed the 60 per minute throughput we've got here. Also, I am forgetting that down is going to end up being tier 3 for the maximum dimensional depot upload speed, eventually. Yep. Okay. So, we need to connect to power, but before we do that, I want to get my columns put down. So we know what we're kind of pushing around. No, that's not where we want that. Is it? It is. I was right. I was right the first time. That is... Hey, Kimmy. Welcome in. Good to see ya. Weekend's going well. And how was yours? So that is actually the end of that one. Okay. Got that one coming all the way up. I'm going to have this... And it is a little unbalanced. Now, what do I do with that one? Huh? Well, not that. I think instead of having these clip into the corners, we're gonna use... these. Been wanting to use these. No, I don't want that. There we go. Let me make sure that's not clipping through the floor. That might be clipping through the floor. It's not. I don't even see Z fighting. That's perfect. Here. And put one here. Let's see. So those aren't actually touching the ground, are they? No. I like it. That gives me an interesting idea, so I'm noticing... Hang on. I need a foundation to work with this. Actually, let's use these. Because that's what they're here for. So what I'm noticing is that this support is the same size as at its base, as the big column. So we could absolutely do some kind of design with this. We're gonna hold on to that for later. I do need to fix this, though, because the next factory over is going to stick out just as far. So we'll center those. Alright, now we can see where the obstacles are going to be as far as the power. We can start hooking it up. Start up here. And no, I don't like that. No worries, Kimmy. Chemistry. Interesting, Carrot. I think we'll bring it down from this one. Right, that'll bring it down for the next one as well. 7 a.m. for some exercise. Kimmy, you are living the schedule that I wish I was living. Oop. We missed a connection there. Nope, that's all 12. The only one I missed, right? Right? We'll find out soon enough. Hey, Jan, welcome in. Glad to see you. How you doing? Here. You're doing well. Finishing up the first of the Tier 3 factories. Tier 2, sorry. Okay, so what I want to do is connect this directly right away. Because I want to check power consumption before I actually hook everything up. But also, this is only going to produce 60. We have to get the power slugs in these. We can do the overclock right away. This is copyable. And some Mexican-style rice stuffed with peppers. Mexican-style rice stuffed peppers with garden veggies just harvested. And more garden veggies roasted with potatoes and homemade bagels. That sounds pretty good, Carrot. Wires in game, in the middle of shifting office around and just taking a wiring break. Oh, we're just finishing up the wires, Jan, I promise. Nothing quite like taking a break from cable management to watch some cable management. So consumption is at 193, about 200, and we are expecting... I believe we've got just under 400 in headroom here. No, we have 274 in headroom. So we're gonna need to upgrade some power infrastructure. That said, Oh, before we hook that up. So all these machines are set to 100% output. We don't have the belt throughput for 100% output. So we're going to drop these down to 50%. So I went to your office yesterday too, got extra storage containers for your stuff, no cables. A lot of people don't like cable management. I'm definitely the odd one out on that one. I can enjoy just sitting and getting all my cables organized and running neatly. As long as I have enough cable length. Nothing quite like thinking you have it all worked out and then suddenly the cable isn't long enough. And you just have to have that one wire that's just out of place. And up here we'll drop these down to 2.5 per minute. So total output of 10 per minute until we can get the tier 3 conveyor belts and Mark II miners. I do have a little bit more cable management to worry about here, which is I need to bring power out to the awesome sink. Not this one, the other one. And we're ready to hook up. We should be, anyway. Can be satisfying. Got a cable management kit with sleeves and straps, and went wild. Can't see any of them. Mounted a small cheap L-shaped shelf under my desk to use as a clean run. Yeah, and getting those little shelves, especially for the power bricks that you don't want just sitting on the floor, it's a big help. So here it goes. So we can get a good view on this rock. We're gonna miss it. Got that coming through the load balancer. Here come the ingots. We should be seeing... even spacing in between. And we are. In this we have 3 out of 4 spaces are full. And it seems like these aren't running. Oh, there they go. That's right, because it's a 3-to-2 ratio, so we need at least 3 ingots in each one before they start producing. Jen has very few cables, just moving them with the desk and not pulling things over. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, Kimmy. There you go. All of these are running already. It is 30 per minute. And that will only go up to 60 per minute. So there's no good reason for that to be tier 2. I don't love that that changed the direction of that. Haven't seen that do that before. Also only ever be 60 per minute throughput. These will eventually be 120, so those need to be upgraded. This will eventually be 240. It's already at tier 2. Okay, we've got the plates coming up, we've got the screws coming up. And this is our bottleneck for the production above, the screws specifically. We can only handle 120, we're only doing 120. Why are you empty? You're not getting any rods. Happening here. That's properly attached. That's properly attached. What is happening? Oh, we got him now. These are bottlenecked. alert, Jen. Hang on, I think... Oh, bean. You're producing 3.75. We're only supposed to be using 3.75. These not running at... These are not running at full capacity. 3.75. 7.5. 15. 30. And our screws are getting backed up. So there is something seriously wrong here. Let's see what's happening upstairs. So at a guess, we've got a bottleneck here that's making these at... Well, that's gonna break that. Now what's breaking these? $3.75. Did I do my math wrong? It's 30. 1 to 1. Can't be a conveyor bottleneck, so it has to mean... I'm not getting the right rate here, right? Oh, this is the fun part that'll slow us down, is troubleshooting our efficiency. This also now looks like it's doing the correct rate. How would it fix itself? What we fixed up there shouldn't have fixed this. We hadn't backed up the screws enough for that to affect the rest of the production line. Hang on, we're gonna save and reset so it'll recalculate the production rates. So the efficiency meter that it shows when you open the machine is how efficient the machine's been running within the last 5 minutes. But when you start a new save, of course, it doesn't have the last 5 minutes of data, so it will recalculate. Didn't used to. 4. That's perfect efficiency. Those are good. That's perfect efficiency. I don't know what happened. I don't know why that would have been wrong, but it somehow seems to have corrected by fixing something that wasn't backed up further along in the line. Alright, well if it works... And we're starting to see that come out. We are now working with, because we did all the calculations for the underclocked machines that are some of them running at 25% capacity. So that only brought us up about 100 megawatts from where we were before, so we should be able to do rotors without upgrading the power infrastructure yet. We no longer need this setup for this. So rotors are, I believe, rods and screws. Right. We saved and we went back, so we have settings reset. Too far. So we'll pop up here, set some of these down, and what was our spacing? We were centered to that. Okay. There's one further, yep. That's a new feature, is when you do the pick block, the satisfactory version of pick block on a machine, it retains the settings. So we'll start these up at 100%. So rods are a 1-to-1 ratio, and screws are a 1-to-4 ratio, so we have, for each of these, 45... iron ingots. So we are going to be looking at... This is only going to be 225 coming in for this. which is 5 of these. So 20 per minute. But I believe we had this split up to... Did we over or underclock these? I think we overclocked these. So I'll need to grab some more slugs for that. Get these dropped down right away. Nope, there's a couple slugs. Apparently my inventory's full. You have to turn those into power shards. Okay. Yeah, and yes, the copy paste does place the power shards for you if you're copying an overclocked configuration, as long as you have enough power shards in your inventory. Very useful. Works in reverse as well. If you're copying an un-overclocked item that has no power shards attached to it, then it will gather power shards from the machines you paste, if they're in there, and just drop them back in your inventory. So we are working with a total of 100 rods for all 4 machines. And 125, 250, 500 screws, which comes down to 125. So we need to produce 225 iron rods, and we need 100 of those to be pulled out and 125 of those to go up to screws, which is not a clean division ratio. And just like before, we're not going to have full capacity. We're going to have 112.5 input on the iron ore for these, at least to start, until we can get the correct tier belts and miners. Which means, like before, I'm not going to be able to use the bottleneck trick to make splitting this up easier. I'm going to have to do a prime split array, because this is 225. But that's not prime split. So if we split that down to 25 apiece, that's 9 25s and 225. And we need 5 to go one way and 4 to go the other. That's feasible. Alright, let's get these machines set. Set them up to full capacity and then have them from there. $15, $30, $60, $120. Occurs to me this bottleneck rate, this production rate is not going to fit with the conveyor belt tiers that we're working with. Between the columns would be a nice spot to bring up a conveyor belt. Oh. We mathed something wrong. This goes here. This goes here. There's no floor there. Also get moved. These also get moved. That's better. We're gonna need to do this again over here. Wrong side. Bottom. Splash to the floor. Kinda know what I'm doing. Okay. We're back. So let me think for a minute. I can't have one do 100 and another one do 125, because that is going to end up with, that's going to end up with one of them exceeding the throughput that the belt can handle. Here and check the assemblers again. Because I think, yeah, as is, each one of these, an individual assembler is already exceeding the throughput of the belt. $125, $250, $500. We won't have this type of throughput until we get to tier 5 belts. I believe... No, that can't be right. That's right. So this is 500 total throughput on the screws. $500 per minute, and tier 4 is 480 per minute. So I'm gonna break my formula a little bit here and pop into my other world to see what it was I actually did to make this work. Because there's no way it took me until tier 5 belts to get a functional rotor production facility. 52, 352. We have some distance to travel. Where is my closest vehicle? Over there. Remember how to get out of the blue crater. Maybe not. This biome is one of the most difficult to navigate in a vehicle. There it is. Hey, cool kid, welcome in. Good to see you. How you doing? Currently, I'm going back to check on a facility I built in a previous world to figure out why it seems like the production rate that I've achieved before requires such late game conveyor belts before we can actually reproduce it. Alright, we're out. Which one, the blue crater? Yeah, I don't wanna look too much at it because there's kind of spoilers going on over there for stuff that we might do later game. Go around this way. That would be inconvenient, for sure. I mean, at the very least, I'm getting pretty close to the destination. At this point, it's probably not going to do too much for you, since we're basically done and we're going to go back to the world that doesn't have driving, so might want to save that one for something we're actually capable of doing in the stream world. So this should be where rotors are. Nope. Oh, that's right. I have a jetpack in this world. This is where rotors are. Okay. That's right, we did smelters on top. So the thing that we actually want to look at is down here. Nope, that's not bottom floor, that is hovering. Well, what I'm finding is that it was a 16 per minute production rate and not a 20 per minute. What is this coming in? And we did, in fact, have screws split up to 2 inputs. Okay. Well, that explains it. So I think I mathed something wrong. Those are for reinforced iron plates. So if these are down to 4 each... that means we really do only have 180 coming in for rotors at the end point. 20 and a quarter of 100, 25, 45, 90, 180. Okay. Oop. That's not right. That's better. Alright, so at that rate, we're gonna have 100... 100 ingots per minute going to produce iron rods for screws, and 80 ingots per minute going to produce iron rods as rods. So that is difference of 20. So that is still the 1 to 9. Well, yeah, the ratio of 1 to 9 is not going to change just because the throughput rate changes. So let's start down here with the actual smelters. Rocks for this. This works out the way I want it to. Yes. Put that back in a moment. Aren't made to do this. We're kind of trying to cheat the game a little bit. Oh, no. Remove the brackets there. And then we'll have them up here. There we go. That is 180 coming in. I have to make sure these are the appropriate. 240 coming in. 240 going out. We need some reinforced iron plates. If only we were producing them. Eventually. Okay, so we are going to turn 180 into 100 for the screws going up and 80 going forward. So that's going to be $90 coming out to 30, 30, 30, or 45, 45. No, that's gotta go over here. Hang on, hang on. $180, we need to turn to 80 and 100. So, 90 going this way, and we need to feed 10 back in, 90 going this way. That's 30. am I doing here? We need 100 and we need 80, so 90 going that way is not sufficient. This needs to just be 80 coming through. That's the direction that needs... So we have 90 hitting here. Out each way here. And then 10 will come out here and feed into this merger. Okay. Now we've got 90... No, now we've got 30 going that way. 30 going that way. That's 60. We have 10, 10, that's another 20. Feeding into that. And that's our 80. Okay. That'll do it. Because I don't like having these out here without looking like they have some kind of support. I'll drop those on there. And this will be... $100. That's the wrong array. Oh, no, it's the right array, but it's going the wrong direction. Is the wrong array. There we go. Instead of having this centered like this, I'm gonna do either side. And get rid of this. that's 40 each going that way. But it will be 80 coming out. That to line up where that is. Okay. So these are rods at 80 per minute total output. We've got 8. Some very challenging math on that one. That one's going to go straight up. That is our final rods for the assemblers. And then this one we're actually going to work with here. These are our ingots. We're going to send them that way first. And this output will come over to this side. Yes? Or will I send it back this way and bring it up the middle? I can't bring it up the middle, can I? I believe there's a column right in the way. There's not. Also forgot to remove this. So yeah, we'll bring it up the middle. But in the meantime, spot. I'll be honest, cool kid, I'm a little disappointed that I was so close to my destination when you said that. That would have been pretty good for you to mess me up like that, honestly. I'm eager to see some of those redeems get used. The unloader is going to be special. Because we have too much output on the screws. So we've got rods we're going to be producing over here. You're going to be producing at 100 per minute, which is going to be 12.5 per machine to split 8 ways. And that is going to be 50 screws per minute. No. Yes. I need more slugs. These all have to get overclocked. I was hoping we would make that. There we go. Oi. Doesn't want to let me climb on the tree. Hang on, we can make this. I said we can make this. We can't make this. Alright, we're going around. I need 3 more power shards. So we've got a slug down here. We'll come back for that one. So we don't have to climb back up again. Gotta be one in there, right? I don't think there was one in there. Oh, in there keeps going. Oh, that's all of our bombs. Still don't see a slug, so that wasn't worth it. There's one. And there's the last piece. So we are coming up on end time. me take a look at where we are with the rotor production. This floor is done. Trying to get these. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a headache to try to figure out what my calculations were starting up the next one, so I think we're going to run into overtime to get the rotor production finished. It's bound to happen eventually. Especially since I'm still not using a third-party tool for planning. Not at this stage, anyway. Alright, but now for these are going to be a different story. So we need to split this up into two outputs. Coming up on either side. Have one here. No. That's the wrong spot. We'll have one here. And we'll have one here. At 50, those are immediately going to be 100 each. That's going to be 200 coming out of there. That is the wrong direction. Also the wrong type of lift. Wrong tier, I should say. These in place. Sure, we've got this in place. I think for the sake of symmetry, the screws will go all the way up to the top. And they're just going to feed directly in. Check our rate, should be 100, yeah, now we know that. That has 100 going in at each point. some more of these. That is so much better, restocking those. This way. That's 80. 40 going each way. And those will be 20. We need more plates. We're almost there. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze for a moment there. Last time we did our output like that. We're gonna do that again here. Or not. I remember that being tighter than that. For each, so the maximum throughput of the rotor output is going to be 18 per minute. If I do this belt. Okay, so we had it come down the center like that. Our output there. this one coming down to here. One of those there, and one here. You think that'll just let me curve it up? Yes! Yes, it will. That's connected. Last step is power. And input. No, that's the next one down. We're good. Start from the top. Connection point? Yes. Doesn't matter how much of this we power up. Oh. We need to drop this down to half rate. These will be 25. These will be 6.25. These will be 5. And these will be 15. No, this one I did not adjust. So 180, 90, 45, 22.5, so 11.25. This one. 80 goes down to 90. We don't need a second power shard for this. Did, however, apparently leave a power shard somewhere. That would have been obnoxious. That connected. Both of them connected. No, that's different. Or did I leave a power shard behind? Oh, did it collect them back because they weren't needed? It did. Okay. Well, we want to keep them in there. Okay. We'll run this around the front. Okay, that's this floor. Is everything hooked up? We should see max power. Yep, over expectation. We are not getting perfect efficiency on something. We're gonna have to troubleshoot that. Oh, I know what that is. That's gonna be out here. That's full. That's almost full. That's full. And that's full. So what we've got is we are being bottlenecked by the belt rate for the awesome sink. That's plates. That's rebar, that's screws. Nope, that's not the bottleneck. Over here. Copper is being bottlenecked by the belt rate for the awesome sink. There it is. Yep. That'll do it. Smelters are coming online. 90. So I'd guess we've got a tier 1 belt or lift somewhere where we expect a tier 2. Found it. Take it a second for it to get the correct throughput. We have a tier 1 belt. Somewhere we're not supposed to. Doesn't seem like it. Or we just at the appropriate rate now. We're not getting the appropriate amount of rods that direction. And I suspect that is a forgotten belt in here somewhere. So 180, 90, 90. $30, $30, $30. There's our forgotten belt. So 100 coming up this way. Here. 50, 50, all those should be 50. Output, tier 2. Or are we running at the correct rate here now? I think we're good. We should now be seeing rotors in here. Or at least on their way here. Here they come. And just as a last sanity check, we'll make sure the riggers are getting in there. And there they are. Why are there only two? Should have been all four. I wonder if that might be a bug with copying and pasting the smart splitter settings. Oh, of course I forgot to scan a new hard drive. As a last step.
Milestone reached. The Xeno Basher is a direct upgrade from the Xeno Zapper. In the words of the engineer that first developed this tool, quote, "The Zapper kind of electrocutes things, the Basher straight up smacks stuff, while also electrocuting them," unquote. It is beneficial during encounters with aggressive fauna, and has been tested thoroughly. The engineer's noble sacrifice for Xeno research will not be forgotten, whoever they were.
Thanks, Ada. Alright, we'll do some final cleanup. To run up to the hour before we end. Don't need that. Need that, and we don't need those. Not currently, anyway. Alright, send that as well. 9 coupons. And we actually had one stored in a chest over here, so that's 10 coupons. We didn't also have some amethyst hanging around, did we? Ah, that's what I wanted. We can do the labels on the storage container as well. This one has not been set yet, but that's what that's going to be. And we're going to need some more amethyst when we move on to the next, once we get past the modular frames. put the amethyst back. That wasn't it. That was it. Nope, that as well. Put those back. Store our power shard. And we'll spend our tickets. So management, we're still all full on. Not much in organization that I'm ready for. Customization. I'm gonna grab asphalt foundations. That's gonna be, like when we set foundations for the miners. That's where we'll end up using those. There's not much in the wall section that we're really ready for. I do want this, because I want to play with that later. And what else is 3? The double ramp sets. And we're up to 15 in-game days since our last death. 3 days have passed in the last 3.5 hours. So that's going to be it for today. Exit to main menu. Switch over to our ending screen. And see if we can find somebody to raid. Close the game out. I got my other screen. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all hanging out. All the chatters, all the lurkers. As far as rating, I think I'm going to send you guys over to Windarine. Rena, I know from Kim and Jack's community. Rena's been doing a 24-hour stream marathon for Gem Day for RPG Community Bot. So if you have any interest in RPG Community Bot, or you have played RPG Community Bot, be sure to participate in the battles over there so you get a chance to earn some gems. Let's raid sign out. No, it looks like Rena has raids turned off, so we will... Let's go over to... Let's see if we can go over to Pablo. Hang on, let me try this again. Oh, nope. We're going to Rena. I just did it wrong. Alright, so here's our raid message. Nope. Here's our raid message. I remember how to stream. So go ahead and copy that raid message. Let me make sure I copy my own raid message. Thanks again, and I will see you guys next time. have to stop streaming.